Good morning, this is Sarah, your healthy carnivore in the UK. Definitely getting used to saying healthy and not imperfect carnivore. On day 86. Very happy, very happy. But the topic I'm going to talk about today is just may not be as happy, because I'm going to talk about the people who seem to define themselves by their illness. You know, some people get so connected up with their illness, it then becomes them. And let's explain. There's lots of different groups of people, right? I'm talking about the world, the countries where we have access to everything. Okay, so let's just go with the UK for an example. We have access to everything. We have very cheap supermarkets, and so everyone can go and get access pretty much what they want. I'm not talking about third world countries where there's poverty. I'm talking about in the countries where we have easy access to lots of different food items and many things. And there's lots of different groups of people, right? Now, these groups of people are, let's go with the first group. Group one, probably young, probably haven't got anything wrong with them yet. And if they do, they don't realise it yet. Probably under the age of 40. But these days, though, this is happening to under 30s and under 20s as well. So it is scary. It is scary. But I'm talking those first group of people that just haven't had anything wrong with them yet. Then you've got another group of people, the people that are the carnivore people. The people that have just accepted that they've got things wrong. They're willing to go and sort it out. We're already on the right track, so we don't need to worry about those people. Those people have got rid of their illnesses, and whether they were defined by them or not, they got themselves sorted for having an open mind and listening to people. Then you've got two other groups of people. These are the people who have a body that is in a state of disease, which is dis-ease, and most disease is caused by metabolic dysfunction. But most people don't realise this because we've been brainwashed into thinking it's genetic, it's not your fault, you just got unlucky. But obviously, evidence is coming out now to suggest that it is bad decisions in our life. Bad decisions that just build up. Slow poisons from food that don't kill you overnight, but over the course of decades make you sick, make your body not work properly, and now it's not functioning properly. I do believe it's mostly food, because when you look at how many people have healed themselves just changing their diet and not really changing much else, then you start to think that I think food is the biggest thing. Yes, probably not ideal to drink coffee, probably not ideal to smoke, probably not ideal to drink alcohol, probably not ideal to just sit on your arse all day and do nothing. But we've seen so many people heal by just changing that food element, that the food has got to be way up there. So you've got these two groups of people who are sick. But you've got one group of people who I'm aiming for. These people that I am aiming for, the people that have got an open mind and are willing to go to the nth degree to find out what's wrong with themselves. Sadly, this is only a small group, because there's another group of people who it doesn't appear we can help. They are so tied up in what is wrong with them and they genuinely believe it's just genetic, not their fault, can't help it, just got unlucky. Sadly, this is a massive group. Massive. People that have become their identity. The thing that is wrong with them is their identity. In fact, I don't even know why they say, I have such and such. They may as well just say, I am. And it's a good example of how these things can just pop out of your mouth. My mother-in-law, she has made it to 90, but she's got everything wrong with her. I'm amazed she's even made it to 90, to be honest. But what I'm going to say is that a few years ago, her doctor suggested to her that she might try a gluten-free diet. So it all becomes exciting. It's exciting now. She goes to a restaurant and says, I'm gluten-free, you know. I'm gluten-free, you know. And then it becomes their thing, their identity, I'm gluten-free, you know. And people then it starts off by being something the doctor's recommended, or that something's been tested and they have confirmed they have got an insensitivity to gluten, but then it becomes their identity. And because they think it's just a genetic thing that they're gluten-free and it's got nothing to do with the diet that they may have consumed. Please don't be offended by this. Anyone watching this, please don't be upset by this. This is just what I've observed over the last 10 years. And another way that you can tell these people have had it as an identity is that you can wander into a Facebook group, right? A Crohn's group, or a diabetes group, or some other Facebook self-help group. These are great places in theory. You know, you've got something wrong with you. It's a fantastic place to go. In theory, you're talking to other people that are suffering from the same thing. You feel connected. That's a good thing. However, though, in those groups, they then become institutionalized into their disease in some way. And then when people like me or other carnivores, I'm thinking of Phil Escott. If you've never heard of Phil Escott, he's British. He's had a YouTube channel for a long time. He's carnivore. He fixed debilitating psoriatic arthritis with a carnivore diet. You may have heard of him. Look up his channel if you haven't. He's been carnivore a long time. He has to, because as soon as he stops, he's in agony. He's been in these Facebook groups. I've been in these Facebook groups. You see this group and you think, wow, there's thousands of people in there that have got the same thing that I used to have. I'm going to go and tell them. What happens? What always happens? You hope, and then you start to think, I hope that somebody finds this before it gets deleted. I hope somebody finds this before I get blocked and thrown out the group for being disgusting. It's happened to me. I don't do it anymore. Haven't done it a long time. It's pointless. It's fruitless. These people are so caught up in their little world of illness that they're then telling each other, don't listen to these quacks. Don't listen to these weirdos. They have no science. If somebody comes in from the carnivore community and tells you that they fixed their Crohn's, they're lying. There is no science on this. Just keep doing what you're doing. And those are the people that it's hardest to get. But that group is so huge. And it's so frustrating. Oh, I need to cheer myself up. I'm gonna put my bunny ears on because this video is miserable. Oh, now I've got bunny ears on because I just need to make you laugh somehow because this is annoying. Moving on from this, still on kind of the same subject, I don't recommend you watch it because it's just preaching to the choir, but I recommend you trying to raise awareness of a recent Joe Rogan podcast where he is talking. I can't even remember the guests because I don't really know them that well, and I've only just started watching it. I am going to try and, I'm definitely going to do this. I'm going to pop a link in my description to the podcast that I'm thinking about, and then I haven't got to try and memorize their names. It was very early this morning I started watching it. I don't know who they are, but seriously intelligent people he's interviewing. And the interview is shocking, but not surprising. But even to me, I was still shocked. I was still just sitting there just shocked because even I found out even more new information. Just when you think you can't find out any more. But they're talking about how, the establishment has just banged on about the genetic thing and that it's not anything to do with metabolic dysfunction. I don't even know why I'm talking about this really, but it's a topic I've been thinking about. People being defined and being encouraged by their doctors and media and whatever else to think there's nothing they can do. They can't help themselves. No one's going to suggest to them the carnivore diet because then they'll realise that they've been lied to and that there is actually a way to fix it, whatever they've got. And I do mean whatever you've got. If you are still watching this and you're not carnivore and you think I'm talking crap, I mean whatever you've got. I would like to find a thing that can't either be helped or resolved or completely diminished by the carnivore diet. Please, if you've got something that hasn't been, pop it below. But also don't forget to mention all the things that have resolved, because it might help people that have found this channel and just don't get it. So yeah, that's that thing. So that's all I want to talk about, really. Our people but I'd still want to aim for those group of people that have got slightly open-mindedness left in them. And the only way I'm going to do that is to walk the walk. I'm on day 86. I am... Every day I'm reinforced more and more and more into this eating. I know I'm going to do 365 days, whatever it takes. And we've all got a strong inkling that once I get to 365, I'm not going to stop. But I'd rather go for the year rather than think forever, because I don't want to start some grieving process that's unnecessary. Oh, I'm never going to eat that again, and I'm never going to eat that again. Let's go with 365 days. I'm on day 86 of 365. Very strong, very strong. I don't know the exact number of actual days is my longest and strictest and cleanest, but this is certainly looking like it. This is certainly looking like my best attempt. Because yes, I've done longer stretches with keto. I've done slightly longer stretches with carnivore, but how strict was it really? Can I say that all of those days were 100% sweetener free? Can I say that all of those days were totally and utterly without seed oil and dairy in its entirety, 100%? Can I say that I had absolutely no alcohol in that whole entire stretch? I don't know. It was back in 2016. Let's say it. I don't remember that stretch in great detail. I know some of the things I was consuming. I know I was still having seed oils. So not in excessive amounts, just not being overly rigid about it, not worrying about who's cooking my food. I might have gone out and had some chicken somewhere that was cooked in seed oil, and I was like, yeah, it's just a tiny amount over the whole scheme of things. It's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. So at the moment, I can honestly tell you that my long stretch in 2016 compared to now, I think this is better. This is my best. And considering how clean it is and how neat and tidy it is and how determined it is, it's my best stretch. I have never done a better, cleaner, more honest, more... I don't even know if I even got to 6 months. It might have been a week less. It was around 6 months. And so I just throw that out there so that the carnivore purists and the haters and the vegans don't attack me. But I can tell you that right now, this is my most determined, honest, cleanest, most dedicated, most resigned, resolved carnivore stretch that I've ever done. And that makes me feel powerful. I think it's probably been sparked off by the fact that I've got my 10-year carniversary of finding about the carnivore diet coming up in a couple of months. And I want to end it on a bang. If I can get to the 10-year carniversary of finding it, but saying this is my best ever stretch, then that's so important. Finding certain channels. Mitch from Old Guy Carnivore got me through this. He did. His advice in the 30-day, if you are someone that can't get to 30 days, please watch some of his old 30-day channels. I'm now going to take these off because I'm now in the more positive zone and people are starting to turn up for work. And I don't want to be taken away by men in white coats to an institution because I've got bunny ears on and it's not Easter. But yeah, what was I going to say? What was I saying? Watch his 30-day video. Certain little bits of snippet, and it's not just the 2 bits of advice that he gives. It's not just the eat as much meat as you want, don't weigh yourself advice. That was beautiful, and I'm still following that, by the way. I'm day 86, and okay, I am now weighing in weekly, just so that, because I've got a channel where people are going to be watching me over the months and the years, I want that data. But that data is only just to be stored for later on purposes. So, as I've said in previous videos, I'm going to get comments on my channel in the future that say, I'm on week 5, I've lost no weight, why is it not coming off? I'm on week 7 or 8, the weight's not coming off, why is it not happening? I can then do a video the next day with charts on it and things and say, look, this is how it happened for me. This was my journey. I'm now there, and I'm now there, and I'm now there. This is a lifestyle. This is how you're supposed to eat. Your body will sort itself out, but it doesn't happen overnight for lots of people, men and women of all ages. So I am weighing in once a week just purely for that data. It's not affecting me. I'm not letting it affect me. I'm not consumed by it on a daily basis. It's just weigh in once a week, make a note of it, and get on with my week. Buy my meat, eat my meat, count the days, keep smiling, keep going. So yes, definitely don't weigh in the first 60 days would be my advice. I left it to about day 63 before I weighed. And then by that point, your brain chemistry has come around to a certain point where you're like, I'm going to do it now anyway. So whatever the scales say. If I really hate what the scales say, we can just get the axe out. We've got an axe in our garage that we call Albert. So I just thought to myself, if I really get annoyed, I can just get Albert the axe out and just now think about what you've done. But no, how can I collect all my data for you, for the future viewers that are going to come to this channel in the future? How can I collect all that data if I've got Albert out and killed the scales? It's not nice. It's not a nice image. It's a funny image, but sad, because it's not the scales' fault. The scale doesn't know what's going on, really. Another reason, oh gosh, I went off on a tangent then about Albert the Axe. The other reason one thing that really helped me on the early Mitch videos from Old Guide Carnivore is not just those 2 bits of advice, it was other things he was saying. He was saying in one of his videos how he's tried to coach his daughter. She's about the same age as me. Tried to coach his daughter to be carnivore, and then she's got herself in a state, and then the scales are playing up and she wants to know why. And he explained it in such a fantastic way. He said something along the lines of, in those first couple of months, 2 or 3 months, your body is learning how to become a fat burner. It's not going to do it overnight. In fact, in the first 60 days, your body thinks that you're starving yourself. And you think, if my mother-in-law, back to the mother-in-law, if she saw the way I was eating in the first 30 days, she'd be like, how is your body thinking it's starving itself? How silly. No wonder you're so obese eating all that pork belly. And that's how our brain works. Doesn't really work at all, really, does it? She said so many horrible things to me over the past. I'm now retaliating on my channel. But he says your body thinks it's starving itself, and what that basically means is it takes time for your body to relearn how to tap into your body fat stores. So you've deprived it of its easy energy store, the glucose, carbohydrates and sugars and things. That was an easy thing for it. It might not have been the right thing for it, but it was an easy thing for it. Giving me a load of sugar, I'm going to run on that. Happy days. Taking it all away, and now the body's going, where's the energy? Where's the energy? But it takes a while. It takes 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 weeks at least for most people's bodies to go, oh, I know what to do. I'm going to get all the fat out of her bodily areas and use it for fuel. But until it's worked it out, your body thinks it's starving itself. And it's not going to drop fat. It might drop some inflammation. If you're suffering from severe inflammation, I'm thinking of perhaps Limitless Lindy. She had a severe amount of water weight stored on her body, and so when she went carnivore, she did have she probably lost some fat too, but she did lose an extreme amount of inflammation and water weight and toxic weight from her body, in addition to some fat, and it was a lot of it, and so she had stupendously high weight losses because of the inflammation going on in her body. She talks about this. I've seen this in many of her videos. This is not a secret, and she won't mind me saying it because she's talked about it in so many of her videos. So people that are getting the very, very early floods of weight loss are probably not losing any fat until at least 8 to 12 weeks. It looks like they are, and they're feeling smaller because this inflammation weight can take up room in our body. And so we're looking smaller and we think, wow, I've lost 30 pounds of fat in my first month, but it most likely was nearly all water. And most people don't understand that. And so when you look at some review for Dr. Atkins' Weight Loss Revolution book, and someone says, I lost 25 pounds in 3 weeks, you're like, ooh. And then when that doesn't happen to you, because you don't have the severe amounts of inflammation in your body, and you only lose 2 pounds in the first 3 weeks, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Why didn't I lose the 25 pounds in 3 weeks? Why have I only lost 2? And it's because your body is nowhere near geared up for losing fat yet. And that was so... I kind of knew that. But he said in his video that his daughter said to him, I've never heard it explained in that way before. The way he says it helps you explain it. And it helps you take it in and absorb the information. You see what I mean? It's all very well reading about fat adaptation on an article, or not even knowing about fat adaptation, but having it explained in a way that is truly accessible and understandable to the layperson who is just flapping around on week 6 and 7 going, I can't lose weight, why can't I lose weight? He explains it in a way that makes people understand. So yeah, so I've talked about Mitch. That never happens, does it? I've talked about how some people are so entrenched in their illness, and they've been advised that there's nothing they can do about it, that they don't do anything about it. And when someone suggests to them, you suggest to someone who's got something like, let's use it as an example, MS, for example. You try and suggest to that person that if they eat the carnivore diet, that it might help. Wow. You'll be lucky if they ever talk to you again. You will be lucky if they ever speak to you again. The reason I know this is because we have a family friend who's got a wife who has MS, and we recommended that information to them a few years ago. We haven't heard from them since. She still has MS. She's still struggling. She hasn't tried the carnivore diet, and hasn't spoken to us since we recommended it. Now, will it always cure MS? I don't know, but I think these things are worth a try. How desperate do you have to be? How strong is your why? How have you yet got a why that makes you cry? Because you have to have a why that makes you cry to do the carnivore diet. You have to have a strong, strong why. And whatever that why is, cling on to it. Cling on to it. I managed to get myself together some really strong whys that could actually make me cry if I thought about them in any great detail. But if you haven't got a why that makes you cry, then the how just becomes so much harder. But I believe that if you're stuck in a wheelchair in your 40s, you've probably got a why that will make you cry. I saw a lady the other day my age in a wheelchair, and I just thought, I don't really know why you're there. I have no idea why you're there. You could have had a car accident that left you paralysed, for all I know. But there's also a small possibility that you have a debilitating illness caused by your diet. But I'm saying nothing, because I don't know how you're in that wheelchair. I don't know why. So I'm saying nothing. And even if I find out you've got something that can be helped with carnivore, I'm still saying nothing. Because you will just be angry with me, hate me, never talk to me again, talk about me to your friends, saying this disgusting woman dared to suggest that the reason I'm like this is because of how I've been eating over the last 40 years. I'm not going there. All I can do is get to 365 days, hopefully hope and pray that the weight comes off, hope and pray that people notice and ask questions, and hope that all those people that knew about my carnivore ways and my meat eating thing say, Sarah, that's you look different. Have you been doing that meat eating thing? And I'll be like, yes, 365 days straight, and I feel incredible. And all you can do is hope and pray that that seed goes into their brain, and then later on it becomes a butterfly or a flower. Excuse me. Apologies for leaping out the car. I'm just not normal, am I? What is normal anyway? I had something to give to somebody. They've got it. They're happy. If you're someone that's watched this right to the end, you're now completely confused. If you're watching this whilst on a walk, you may have just crashed into a bush at the shock of Sarah just suddenly leaping out the car. Like, oh my gosh, I am crazy. So let's wrap this up. 25 minutes in, day 86, super happy, super charged up, gonna save some lives in the future, I'm sure of it. Just got to keep going now. Just gotta keep going. That is the only way that I can save myself and save others. Don't be defined by your illness. Really, really look into it. If you've got something, I've probably pissed off people so much now that anyone that is not carnivore is gone out the door minutes ago. But I just want to sum up by saying, have a good look into what's wrong and check to make sure that it can't be fixed somehow. Because I did a video not long ago, 101 ways, 101 reasons to do carnivore, and I'm still finding out new things now that could have been added to the list. Amazing. Enjoy your day. Hopefully you're going to get more sun than us. And just thrive. And I will see you tomorrow on day 87. Take care, guys. Bye.